Good morning, ma'am. My name is Aman Yadav, and I am from batch BTech CSC 4th semester. Today, I am going to explain about the presentation on the given topic, error detection and correction course. So, first of all, we will explain about the concept of data. Data can be corrected during transmission. Some applications require that errors be detected and corrected. The data may be corrupted due to the sudden loss of power, hardware issues, network issues. Some application requires that error is detected. An error that can be corrected can prevent the data from loss transmission. Now we will study about the types of error. First type of error is single bit error. In a single bit error, only one bit in the data unit has changed. As we see in the diagram, the sender sends the message to the receiver, but a single bit, that is 0, is changed to 1. This type of error is occurred in this single bit error. Now, the next type of error is burst error. A burst error means that 2 or more bits in the data unit have changed. As we see in the diagram, when the sender send the information to the receiver, so the length of 8 bits error is occurred, like 2 0 value change to 2 1, and the mid value of 0 also change to 1. This will lead into corrupted bits, and this will result in an error. Now we will explain about the concept of redundancy. Redundancy is the concept in the detecting and correcting errors. We need to send some extra bits with our data. These redundant bits are added by the sender and removed by the receiver. And in redundancy, to detect or correct errors, we need to send extra redundant bits with data. And we can see in this diagram how redundancy is the central concept in detecting and correcting errors. Suppose a sender is sending a message containing data bits to the receiver. So these messages are generated by a generator and sent with extra bits for redundancy. These redundant bits are transmitted to receiver, where information is received and is checked. If the bits are correct, then it will be sent to receiver to view message. Otherwise, the messages will be discarded and there occurs an error. So we can see that message and redundancy goes through unreliable transmission to receive information, and the receiver will check whether the transmitted message is correct or wrong. If it is correct, then it will be decoded and viewed as a message to the receiver. Otherwise, it will be discarded. Now we will discuss how detection is different from correction. So in error detection, we are looking only to see if any error has occurred. A single bit error is the same for us as a burst error. In error correction, we need to know the exact number of bits that are corrupted, and more importantly, their location in the message. So the number of errors and the size of the message are important factors. Here we can note one thing, that correction of errors is more difficult than detection. This is because during the correction of error, we need to know the exact number of bits and their location, which makes it difficult for us to determine the location and find the error. Now we will explain about the concept of modular arithmetic. In modular arithmetic, we use only a limited range of integers. We define an upper limit called the modulus n. We then use only the integers 0 to n minus 1. For example, if the modulus value is 12, that is n equal to 12, then we will have a range only from integers 0 to 11. And in a modulo n system, if a number is greater than n, it is divided by n and the remainder is the result. Now I will explain about modulo 2 arithmetic. This means that the value of the modulus n is 2. So in the same manner we can explain that if the modulus n is 2, so we can have only value 0 and 1. And operations in the arithmetic are very simple. The following shows how we can add or subtract two bits. In adding, we see 0 plus 0 equal to 0, 0 plus 1 equal to 1, 1 plus 0 equal to 1, and 1 plus 1 equal to 0. In this, we noted one thing, that in the operation, 0 check the even parity and 1 designates an odd parity. This is due to the operation of XOR, because XOR uses operation for both addition and subtraction. And in modular and arithmetic, we use only integers in the range to n-1 inclusive. And here are some examples of XORing of two single bits or two words. Suppose 0 plus 0 XOR 0 equal to 0, 1 XOR 1 equal to 0. Here we see that two bits are same, so result will be 0. And if two bits are different, the result is 1. Suppose 0 XOR 1 equal to 1 and 1 XOR 0 equal to 1. And we also take two patterns for XORing of the values, so we can see the result. Now we will explain about the error detection techniques. So first point is echo check. In echo check, CPU echoes each character received back to the CRT. Second one is the longitudinal redundancy check, that is LRC. And third one is the CRC, cycle redundancy check. We will explain about this further. Now vertical redundancy check. VRC is also known as parity check, and it is the least expensive mechanism for error detection. Here the redundant bit is appended to every data unit, so that the total number of 1 in a unit becomes even. So here in the diagram, suppose we have taken the data 11000001. When the data pass through the even parity generator, we achieve a VRC value of 1, which is appended to this data. This is because the number of 1 in the data is odd. According to VRC, the number of data should be even, so we have appended 1 to this so that the total number of 1s become even, and it is sent to the receiver after checking whether the total number of 1s is even or not. Now the second method is longitudinal redundancy check, that is LRC. This LRC verifies the accuracy of stored and transmitted data using parity bits. It is a redundancy check applied to a parallel group of bit streams. The data to be transmitted is divided into transmission blocks, into which additional check data is inserted. This term is also known as horizontal redundancy check. So here are following steps how LRC is generated. First point, add all bytes in messages excluding the starting colon and ending the carrier's return line field. Add this to the 8-bit field and discard the carrier. Subtract the final field value from FF hex, producing 1's complement, and other one add 1, producing 2's complement. So this is the diagram of LRC, where we can see that 4 data values are put in a box, and fifth one we obtain the LRC value, that is 10101010, and this we achieve the original data message including LRC. And the third one topic is the cyclic redundancy check, that is CRC. In CRC, the redundant bits is appended to the end of the unit, so that the resulting data unit becomes exactly divisible. So these are the tables of data world and code world. Now we take example for data world 1001. So here in this diagram, we have taken a divisor 1011 and 1001 as a dividend. We have to divide in such a way that leftmost bit number should be appended to the below one. Suppose we have divided the first row, so 1011 here is that leftmost bit 1, so we will add 1011 to this. And in the second row we have show 0100 as a remainder, so in this case we will use 0000 divisor because we have leftmost bit 0. So in this way we will divide and we will obtain the final result remainder. So the resultant code word we will obtain from the CRC is the combination of data word and remainder. So here the result is 1001110, which we will obtain the correct error. Now the main important topic of this error detection and correction is Hamming codes. Hamming codes are error correcting codes. These codes were originally designed with d minimum equal to 3, which means that they can detect up to 2 errors or correct one single error. It is one of the most error correcting codes used in random access memory. It was developed by R.W. Hamming. It consists of k check bits and n data bits for total n plus k bits, and consists of range of 2 to the power k values between 0 and 2 to the power k minus 1. Therefore, it must be equal to or greater than n plus k. And the main equation is 2 to the power k minus 1 must be greater than or equal to n plus k. And we will study the relationship between n and k in a Hamming code. Suppose m greater than or equal to 3, the values of n and k are then calculated in the form as n equal to 2m minus 1. And second point, k equal to n minus 1, the number of check bits are equal to m. So here is the Hamming code for C74 and the table is drawn in this slide. Now we take an example. Suppose we need a data word of at least 7 bits. Calculate values of k and n just this satisfies the requirement. So we need to make k equal to n minus 1 greater than or equal to 7. Suppose if we take m equal to 3, then we get the result of n equal to 7 and k equal to 4, which is not acceptable. Now we take m equal to 4, then we will get n equal to 15 and k equal to 11, which satisfies the condition. So the required code is C1511. Here we see another example. Suppose we have data equal to 01001 and we have 3 check bits. So we have 7 bit code and it will check the bit position of 1, 2 and 4. When we check 1 covers position, we get 1357. When we check 2 covers position, we get 2367. And finally, when we check 4 covers position, we get 4567. So here the blueprinted number 0 and N0 is a parity bit, and we can see P1 equal to 1, P2 equal to 1 and P4 equal to 0. And to decode, we recompute the check bits and arrange as a binary number. Then the value tells the error position, and if the value of 0 comes, then it means no error, otherwise we have to flip bit to correct. So example, we have continued 0, 1 and 0, which is in blue color. Then we will get the P1 equal to 0, P2 equal to 0 and P4 equal to 0. Then we have syndrome equal to 0, 0, 0, that is we have no error, and data equal to 0, 1, 0, 1. Now when we swap the value of 0 to 1 in a red color, then we get the result P1 equal to 0, P2 equal to 1, P4 equal to 1. Then we get the syndrome 1, 1, 0, and there occurs an error, so flip position equal to 6. And after flip, we get the correct value, data equal to 0, 1, 0, 1. Thank you so much, ma'am.